Hello, my name is Kristofer Lindh-Payne, and I am one of the clergy at St. Francis Episcopal Parish. This is another edition of our summer spiritual sustenance offerings. Today, if it's not obvious, I am out for a walk with the dog, and I'll say more about that walk in just a bit. But it is a beautiful day, and I'm not just walking because I need to get some steps in, or because this is the time that I could do the video recording. There is a thematic reason for including the walk as part of our discussion today. So as you likely know, we do these video reflections, at least right now, in response to our daily readings of the Bible. We're reading scripture together. You don't need to have read the scripture in order to be able to listen and follow along. But the two passages that I'm going to focus on are the end of Luke's Gospel, that's Luke chapter 24, and then Acts 9. Those are the readings for yesterday, for Sunday, and for today, Monday. There's a lot of things going on in those two texts that we hear, and there's a whole lot happening in this Luke-Acts interchange. We only get little samplings of it, and I really do encourage you to read all of it. But as we follow along the story, at the end of Luke, we have the journey of a couple of disciples, not any of the 12, but a couple of people that were following Jesus, and they've heard about his death, and they've also heard about his resurrection. And they are on the road to a place called Emmaus, and it's on that road that a stranger meets them and walks along beside them. And they have this incredible conversation where they tell the stranger all that has happened, where they tell about the story of Jesus. And as they come to the end of their journey, they are breaking bread together, and something really powerful is occurring for them. They are stirred up by this interaction with him, with the stranger. And when he breaks bread, they recognize him as Jesus. Fast forward in time to the book of Acts, where scholars think that the author of both Luke and Acts is the same person, but there's a lot of time that's passed in here, and here we are focused on, in chapter 9 in Acts, the conversion of who we now know, St. Paul, but he was then Saul. And Saul himself was on a different road. He was on the road to Damascus. He was journeying along, and here was someone who was well known for the ways in which he persecuted the early followers of Jesus. Did some pretty terrible things, probably. But he is, we're told in this remarkable conversion experience, he is transformed, and he is made blind by the experience. But God talks to him and reveals to him some pretty powerful things about who God is, and who Saul is, and he is changed. His missionary journeys and the writing that he did to the early leaders within the faith had such an incredible impact. So as we think about what it means to be on this journey, to be walking along, not Emmaus, not Damascus, I don't even know what roads you walk along, but whatever context we find ourselves in as a congregation, the landscape is shifting all the time, and we are seeking ways to love God and love our neighbor in creative, life-giving ways. And we are seeking to have God use us in transformative ways as we share that love of God and become something more together. Just as the disciples on that road to Emmaus were changed by the experiences, their hearts were burning, just as Saul was made blind, just as Saul had his vision restored and quickly became all about the ministry of following Jesus. So too, we are called on our own journeys to follow in ever closer ways. Today, as I'm walking the dog, this is one of a number of recordings I've made because, well, he's eaten a bunch of grass and I have to keep taking that out of his mouth, and I'm not ashamed to say that he's also tried to eat some poop too. So having to thwart those efforts meant I had to stop what I was doing to be focused on that. But I'm grateful that as this recording comes to an end, that I've been able to say most of the things that I was hoping to say. Know that I am praying for you as you continue this journey. Know that God is with you. And as we walk on this missionary road ourselves as St. Francis Episcopal Parish, may God's peace continue to go with you. May you share that peace with all those that you meet. And I wish you well, and I look forward to our next conversation together. And Forrest probably wants to say hello too. So you want to say hey, buddy? Oh yeah. God's peace be with you.